Hey there, physics pals. Paul Lake here with another physics problem solved. I hope you're doing well. And in this one, we're going to be dealing with Gauss's law. We're going to find the flux through a cube with a point charge at its center. And of course, we will be using Gauss's law, and we're going to be talking a lot about electric flux, how to use Gauss's law to calculate electric flux. And so let's read the problem. A charge of 107 microcoulombs is at the center of a cube of edge 80 centimeters. How much total electric flux is through the cube's surface area? My friend David won't like that. Through the cube's surface area. How much flux is through each face of the cube? And how would your answers to A and B be changed if the cube was only 40 centimeters on an edge? And then D, how would your answers to A and B change if the charge was moved from the center of the cube, but it's still in the cube, okay? And draw pictures to help explain your answers. And I get these problems from my tutoring clients, so check in the description. You know, if physics is stressing you out, taking too much time, too much pressure, I can help. There's a link in the description on how to get a hold of me if you might benefit from my tutoring services. So check that out. Now let's write down what's given. So I've got a cube. Maybe I'll put the back face on the side, something like that. And it is each side, I'll call it A because I don't know what else to call it. Each side is 80.0 centimeters, and right smack dab in the center is a point charge, I'll call it Q, 107 microcoulombs. And then what are we trying to find? Well, for part A, I want the total flux out of the cube from this charge. And then part B, I want to know the amount of flux through each face of the cube. And then part C, it's A and B above if A, the edge, little a, is reduced to 40 centimeters. And then part D, what if we move this off center so that the, so I want A and B if Q is off center. We move it, somewhere else other than the very center of the cube. Okay, so one thing I suggest you do is pause the video now, think about it, try to solve it yourself. If you get stuck or you finish and you just want to check your work with mine, hit play. You can skip around if you want. A lot of people do, but I do teach a lot of concepts, so you might want to watch it all the way through. And this is going to be a fairly short problem anyway, so it's not going to be a long video. So let's solve it. Well, here's Gauss's law in its most elaborate form. The total amount of flux is equal to the electric field dotted with the area vectors, and then this little circle here means it's a closed surface, and a cube is a closed surface. And this is going to be equal to the charge inside our surface divided by epsilon naught. Okay. Now here's a hint. Sometimes if you're taking the AP test or tested in college or wherever you are, if they ask for the amount of flux, quite often you're not going to have to use this middle part right here. You're just going to say, hey, the total flux is equal to the charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. This is the permittivity of free space. Just a constant of nature. And so So that's what we're going to do here for part A. The total flux out of that cube is just equal to the amount of charge inside, but we know what that is. That's 107 microcoulombs, and then we're going to divide it by epsilon naught. And if you look it up, it should be 8.85 times 10 to the negative 12 coulombs squared per Newton meter squared, I think are the units for that. And yeah. So there we go. And so this part's pretty easy because, I mean, this is it. We're closing it, so we know how much charge is inside, so we know the total amount of flux. So let's figure that out. Now, one thing to remember, if you're using this micro, you have to type in 10 to the negative 6. So don't forget to do that. So 107, okay, times 10 to the negative 6, or E, I used this button. All right, and then I'm going to divide that by 8.85 times 10 to the negative 12 equals, and oh, I need to put this back in scientific notation, and it's 1.21 times 10 to the 7. 1.21 times 10 to the 7. Now, what units would these be? Newton meters squared per coulomb. Now, one way to check the units for this, check this out. It's electric field times area. And you know what the units for electric field are. Should be is newtons per coulomb, and then area is just meters squared. So yeah, the units here work out. And so there's my answer for part A. That's the total flux. Now for part B, well, it would be very difficult, maybe not impossible, but it would be very difficult. I would not know how to do it, to use this to figure out how much flux is coming out of, each one face of this. But one thing I can argue this from symmetry, that if the point charge is in the very center of the cube, which is what's given here, that this flux is going to come evenly out in all directions. And since each face of a cube has the same area, they're all going to have the same amount of flux through them. And how much flux would that be? Well, it'd be the total flux divided by 6, right? Because that's how many faces a cube has. It has a top and a bottom, and a left side and a right side, and a front side and a back side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just going to say the flux through a face, one face, is just equal to the total flux divided by 6. So that's 1.21 times 10 to the 7 Newton meter squared per coulomb divided by 6. So I already got this work saved in my calculator, so I just need to divide that by 6. And that's 2.02 times 10 to the 6. So the flux out of one face, or you could say each face has 2.02 times 10 to the 6 Newton meters squared per coulomb. And there you go. That's our answer for B. Okay. Now we get to the fun part, part C. What if I took this cube and just made it, well, I'm just going to draw it on here. What if I made it each side half as big? Well, what would that look like? And one thing you might, so if this side is half as long, I tried to draw it about half long. I think I did a reasonably good job of that. But what do you notice? It's got the same amount of charge inside. I mean, there's nothing in this equation that tells you how big. We didn't use this value. It doesn't matter. If I made a bigger cube, it would have the same amount of flux coming out of it. So the size, in other words, the size of the edge doesn't make any difference. The amount of flux. Well, I can say for A, and then because it's still at the center, what about B? You know, through one face. Well, as long as you keep that charge at the very center, it's going to be the same. So A and B are unchanged by making the edge smaller or bigger. You know, here I cut it in half in the problem here, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. Now, so A and B are unchanged is the answer. Now, how would your answers to A and B change if the charge was moved from the center of the cube? Okay, well, let's do that. So I'm going to draw my cube. And again, it doesn't matter how big it is. It's just a cube. Not a very good cube, but a cube. All right. So what if this was so, what if I moved it closer to this edge? Now, let's look down. It's kind of hard to see when you make a three-dimensional drawing like this on a two-dimensional sheet of paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this 2 dimensions on a two-dimensional paper. We're going to look down on it. So here's the top view. Now here was the center, but let's move it closer to one edge. We're going to move it off center. Well, it's got the same amount of flux. Let's just draw different lines of flux. I don't know. I think you can see that the closer I get over here, the more lines of flux are going to go through this face than this one. This one's going to get its flux reduced, and this side's going to get its flux increased. But what do we notice about the total overall amount of flux? Well, it doesn't matter where this charge is inside. If you have a closed surface, it doesn't matter where that charge is located within that closed surface. You're going to have the same amount of net flux coming out, or if it's a negative charge, coming in to your closed surface. So A is unchanged. In other words, we still have this amount of flux coming out of the cube, even if the charge is moved off center. That's kind of cool. Now let's take a look at the next. What about part B? How is it going to change? Well, yes. Yes. The surfaces, I'll write it like this. The surfaces closer to the charge will have more flux and the others less. Okay, so yes, the amount of flux will change, but some, like if you move it closer, this is going to have more lines of flux going through it, and this might have fewer. I don't know about the top and the bottom. It might be the same, I'm not sure. But it will change. You know, if you put it if you put it in this little corner right here, well, right in here, you're going to get a whole lot of flux. And now over here, the flux is going to be more spread out, less flux per per unit area, right? Which is a weaker electric field. But the total amount of flux doesn't change because that only depends on how much charge is inside. All right, and there it is. Those are our answer. And so, hey, I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And check in the description. I've got a Google Doc. There's a link to a Google Doc that has a lecture on this and more example problems and links to other pages on other physics topics. So, and this problem's going to get added to that collection. So, yeah, you're part of history. Anyway, hey, if you got all the way to the end, thanks for watching. Thanks for studying physics. We need you to study physics. You're a hero. And until the next one, may the net force be with you always. Take care. That is all.